And I get the grinding and all. You know, I can't dance. I can't stanky leg and none of that shit. But, you know, I could two-step, grind a little bit, wind it up. You know what I'm saying? Eagle on, all that. You know, that kind of shit. So, you know, me and her and her husband, and me and this dude, we out there, we just dancing and, you know, we doing our thing, whatever. Blow the whistle. You know what I'm saying? And so, so as the night goes on, you know, and you know, her and I, we go out there and we, you know, her and her husband and me and, you know, probably somebody else, I don't know, we out there, we dancing or whatever. So I ended up meeting this guy. I mean, but when I first seen him, and I know what y'all getting ready to say, I'm gonna handle all that in a minute. And so, you know, I'm out there dancing and everything. This guy, he's like, you know, I see him over there standing. I'm like, damn, that's a handsome ass man. You know what I mean? But, you know, I didn't want to put a 10 on a 2 or, you know, really like looking at him and checking him and shit. So, you know, I would look and look away. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of, I'm not aggressive at all. I am so not aggressive. I'm not one to make a first move. I've never been that chick. I've never asked a man to dance. I've never bought a man a drink. I've never made the first move. Just none of that kind of stuff. It's just not me. So, anyway, y'all, this light is making me glisten. I mean, it's hot like a motherfucker. That's why I need my fan somewhere where the shit can just blow all this back. I need the fan. I need the fan in full effect. I'm hot. Anyway, so me and dude, you know what I'm saying? I go and I sit down after I got finished dancing with this one guy. So this one guy walks up to me, and so he was saying something. He was like, I'm in such and such motorcycle club. He was like, are you familiar? And I was like, no, I ain't familiar with the motorcycle club and shit. And so he was like, well, I'm such and such from this and that and other bike ride and this and that. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, I wasn't really impressed because I don't know that shit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I do have a guy that I used to talk to that's on my Facebook. And he's with, what's them riders and shit? That let you know I don't know too much about that shit. Because I'm like, whatever. But, yeah. But I'm just not into the motorcycle thing. I don't know nothing about that life. Or that, I don't know nothing about it. So, anyway, he was telling me about this motorcycle, this, and that, and the other. I'm like, whatever. But I'm looking at this guy over here just checking me. You know, he was like, you know, putting his hands up like, tell dude to get on. You know what I mean? And so, you know, and I'm sitting up here looking at him. I'm like, damn, I mean, just debonair like a motherfucker. So, he comes at me. The guy gives me a card. He was like, well, my name is Solo and all that. When you said Solo, motherfucker, all I could think is Keisha Cole and them. You know what I'm saying? As soon as this motherfucker said Solo, I said, oh, shit. Didn't Keisha Cole's sister marry one of them motherfuckers named Solo or something? I was like, oh, my God. Motherfucker had the vest on and shit. I said, oh, shit, this is a motorcycle rider. Fuck that. You know what I mean? So I went on and took his card or whatever and, you know, put it in my little bra and shit, made me feel like he was something. So as soon as he walked away, then this guy walks up, the same guy that, you know, we've been eyeing each other and shit. This motherfucker comes and he was like, can I sit down? I was like, yeah, sit down. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking, I don't want to look at him like, damn, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to look at him like that. So, I'm looking away because, y'all, believe it or not, I mean, I know a lot of people probably think I'm very, I don't know, flirtatious. I don't know what people seem to think. But I'm really I'm submissive. And I'm just kind of, I'm more of a tease than anything. I'm more of a flirt and tease and all that shit. But when it comes down to really fucking, nigga, it's a disconnect. Because I'm like, for real? You really want to fuck? You know what I mean? So I'm not that chick. You know what I mean? I'm not her. I mean, I can talk a good game. But now, in a relationship, you know, after a while, you get to know a person, you get to know their mannerism and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, you're more comfortable and more apt to exploring different things. But, you know, just on some random shit, just meet a nigga and be like, you know, yeah, let's go to Denny's and let's go fucking after that. I ain't never went to Denny's and was fucking. I ain't never did that. But I know a lot of women is down with that Denny shit after the club, and they end up fucking. I'm cool, and motherfuckers ain't finna have me stroll all across in the back of my motherfucking truck. I just don't roll like that. I just, nigga, I dance with you and wind it up and grind all motherfucking night long on this motherfucking dance. But fuck that. If I'm getting ready to go out there, you finna walk into my motherfucking car and we finna, you know, pop the back of the truck up. Fuck that. It ain't going down. I'm not that chick. I'm not her. Anyway, me and him, we sitting there, we talking and stuff, and he just looking at me all across my face and shit, and I'm just blushing like a motherfucker, because I'm like, this motherfucker's actually just looking at me, just staring at me in my face. And like I told y'all before, real handsome men like that, real handsome men don't come at me. They don't. Now, mediocre motherfuckers, motherfuckers about 5 or 6 teeth in their mouth, and, you know, mixed mac niggas and all that, all that. Them niggas there are holler all day long. But brothers that's real bomb, and this motherfucker right here was on that Sean Connery like a motherfucker. I'm looking at this motherfucker, I mean, just debonair like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had the whole, you know, Jerome Bettis, the whole get down, you know what I'm saying? It was all salt and pepper. I was like, oh my God. I didn't even want to look at him good in the face because he was so sexy. You know what I mean? Had him a little fedora on and shit, all this shit all. You know what I'm saying? Had on a nice, you know what I'm saying, sports jacket on nice. I mean, you can look at him and tell that he ain't Antoine in them. He ain't none of them. You know what I mean? So, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, you know, what do I say to this motherfucker? You know what I mean? And he was just talking and stuff, and you know, and he was real engaging because, you know, by the music being loud and stuff, you know, he would reach in and say shit, you know what I mean? And then he had put his hand all on my thigh and shit, and you know what I'm saying? And then when he talked, he rubbed me on my arm. I was wet in the motherfucker. I said, oh my God, what am I going through? I mean, he was fucking me up. I mean, mentally, he was fucking up my medulla oblongata like a motherfucker. I'm like, this motherfucker's all in my pons. I mean, this motherfucker was all back here. I said, bitch, wait a minute, hold the fuck the phone. Because this motherfucker was sexy as fuck. Do you hear me? I mean, he seriously put you along the lines of the Sean Connery, Barbara Streisand's husband. They got the salt and pepper, this, that going on. But only thing is, he's a black man. Mature black man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, whereas, you know, when the motherfucking waitress, you know, somebody had came through or whatever, and, you know, he had pulled out the money clip, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't pulling out ones and shit all balled up, you know what I mean? He the money clip motherfucker. So, you know, he was like, you are absolutely gorgeous and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you just gorgeous. I'm just taken by your beauty. You are absolutely gorgeous. Then, you know, he was like, well, you know, let's dance. Baby, I mean, this man captivated my shit the whole motherfucking night. I'm serious. I mean, it was like, you know, me walking around and stuff. It was like he wanted to walk with me. You know what I'm saying? Hold my hand and all that motherfucking shit. I mean, he was just everywhere I was, you know. And everybody said that you were through. So we danced about maybe 3 or 4 songs, and then I was like, okay, well, I need to sit down. So we go and we sit down, and then we'll sit down for maybe about 2 or 3 songs. He ready to get up and get, I mean, it was our job. I mean, it was about it, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, well, you know, can we dance again or whatever? And I was like, okay, cool. We got up and we danced and shit, another 2 or 3 songs. And then we sit down, and then Blow the Whistle, I think, came on. And so I could see my girl, her and her husband was getting up, and they was going out there. So we was like, let's go. So we go out there. And so after Blow the Whistle went off, Motivation came on. So I was like, I don't want to slow dance with this motherfucker. I didn't want to, but I did want to. And so anyway, motivation came on, y'all. And, you know, your girl is flexible than a motherfucker. I mean, you know, I can't stand up anymore and put my leg all the way up like this anymore. I mean, I could probably bring it like halfway. You know, I can literally hold on to my foot. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, I'm very, very flexible. So, and then, I can get low and wind up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I can't do shit like I used to do it. You know, now that I'm getting a little bit older and left knee be popping and shit, I can't do it like I used to. But especially if the man is holding on to my hands and giving me some brace, this motherfucker was holding my hands, y'all, and I just winded all the way down on this motherfucker. I'm all down to his kneecaps, just winding and grinding on this motherfucker. He was like, oh my God. This motherfucker, let me tell you, ladies, this nigga dick was hard in the motherfucking rock. I swear to God. I said, this motherfucking corn dog in my back is fucking me up. Y'all, this motherfucker was on my ass. Do you hear me? I mean, do you hear me? This motherfucker, he was like, oh my God. And so he just grabbed me. He just like bear hugged me, you know, because he was behind me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just giving it to him. I'm just all that. So he just put his arms around me. He just grabbed me. He said, girl, what you trying to do? What you trying to do to my ass and shit? You know, and I was like, we just dancing. It's just a dance. You know what I'm saying? We just dancing. What's the problem? You know what I mean? So, anyway, we go back and we sit down after Mesmerize went off. And then my her and her husband comes up. And her husband was like, you know what? He was like asking me, you know, where do I stay and all that. And I told him, you know, what city I was staying in. I just don't put that out there amongst everybody because I get the craziest of crazies fucking with me. So I can't just put it out there. Oh yeah, I live at I mean, you know, come on now. Just can't do that. So I was telling her husband, you know where I stayed and stuff. And so he was like, he was like, shit, I need your autograph. And, you know, me and him, you know, we chuckled a little bit. And so then his wife, you know, she was standing behind him. And so, you know, me and her embraced and stuff. She was like, Tina, leave some of these men in here for the rest of these women up in here, girl, because you are killing it with this outfit on. But still, at the time, I'm talking to Richard. You know what I'm saying? His name is Richard. So he's sitting there, you know what I mean? And he was like, you something else. You something else. I'm not getting ready to go out no goddamn way with your ass. And this 8:30, nigga? No. Shit, game recognized game, nigga. You know, I don't know if pussy on your mind or not, but fuck that. No. So, you know, and then, okay, this club closed at 2 o'clock. And so, you know, I'm like, okay, I've done what I needed to do. I'm ready to go. So, you know, he was like, well, can I walk you to your car when you're ready to go? You know, because men was just stopping and talking and, you know, disrespectful motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Disrespectful. Because, you know, when I come to that club, you know, I go and come. I'm not there all the time, you know. And, you know, I wasn't with anyone. I was by myself, and I was comfortable with doing so last night. And, you know, and I was, you know, everything was fitting. I mean, hips and thighs and breasts. Yeah. I mean, if the shit fit in the crotch just proper, wasn't no camel toe, none of that, just real proper, just... Man, I ain't even gay, but if I seen somebody walk in there like that, I'd be like, okay, that bitch is together. You know what I mean? I mean, I was like, wow. And when I looked at my own shit in the mirror while I was dancing with this motherfucker, I said, okay, now I see why these motherfuckers keep looking down at my pussy and my ass and shit. The motherfucker was looking all down, all at my shit, breasts, everything.